Don't! Please don't!
Well, we all knew it was coming, so yeah.
Done.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. Here's another discussion on The Last of Us Season 2, and it will probably be the last discussion on The Last of Us Season 2, or even Last of Us television show in general, because I probably will not be talking about this show anymore because I don't know if I'm going to even continue to watch the show. And the reason why that is because it's very simple. It's going completely loyal to The Last of Us Part 2 video game, which, nothing wrong with that, but I just was not a fan of The Last of Us Part 2. I did not like the story. I didn't like the direction it went. I was not a fan of it. I played the game, didn't care for it, and now the show's going in that same direction, and I don't care for it. So why continue to watch a show that you're not invested in? And I know I'm gonna get the smart asses now and be like, well, what'd you think? Obviously season 2 is gonna be exactly like Last of Us Part 2 because season 1 was just like the first one. I know, but it is a television show. It's an adaptation. They tend to change. Some shows change very drastically and go very different with the source material. And because The Last of Us Part 2 was such a polarizing game, I was maybe thinking maybe Druckmann will do things a little differently, even if he goes the same direction, but just does it differently, like very differently. Maybe I'll like it. I just wanted to see if it was going to be exactly like it. Curiosity. And it's going exactly the same direction as Last of Us Part 2 because Druckmann loves The Last of Us Part 2. He thinks it's the better game, and there you go. This season is now for Last of Us Part 2 fans. So if you're a fan of Last of Us Part 2, you're going to love this season. And this just show's going to give you everything you want. And if you are one of those people who didn't like Last of Us Part 2, you're not going to like this season. It's simple. It's simple as that. This is not going to be a season that's going to change your mind on The Last of Us Part 2. It's not going to be like you're going to watch this season now and you're like, oh, my mind has changed. Last of Us 2 is actually brilliant. And I know some really, well, it's not fair. It's only 2 episodes in. It is fair because as a human watching a show, you can stop watching a show anytime you feel like it. That's your right to do so. And again, I watched all of season 1. And I did enjoy it. I had issues with it because he did change some things of the first game to make it geared more to the second game and stuff because he's so ashamed of the first one, I think, and just loves the second one. Yeah, there's things that were different in the first game. The first season from the first game, but it was still a good season. That's why I watched the first season, because I enjoyed the first Last of Us game. So seeing it on the television screen is pretty cool. So if I'm not a fan of Last of Us Part 2, what reason for me is to watch Last of Us Season 2? And again, I watched these 2 episodes to confirm if it was exactly like Last of Us Part 2, which it is. So I mean, I know the Last of Us Part 2 defenders are almost as bad as the haters, so it's pointless having a dialogue now. It's just, you either love it or you hate it, and I'm just not a fan. So let's talk about this episode, and then we can just move on. This episode was not bad, better than the first episode. It's going in the same direction as the game, so I know where the show's going now. I know, and the fact that they're spreading it over 2 seasons, so season 2 and 3 are going to be Last of Us Part 2, very strange because it's already like did the Joel thing already. I thought they were gonna wait till near the ending of the season. That's what I thought they were doing, but no, they already went for it. So it's gonna be a Bella Ramsey season. All right, so the beginning of this episode takes place pretty much after episode 1, and once again showing that Ellie is a very unlikable bitch. Yeah. Bella Ramsey is just her acting was a lot better in the ending of this episode, but throughout the season so far, she has not been really giving quality acting. Very wooden, and her face doesn't really move when she speaks. But she did give an emotional performance at the very ending of the episode. But the rest of it, she's just trying to act like this like tough character, this tough demeanor, and it just doesn't come off. Just doesn't come off very good, especially just her stature, and just even her facial expressions. It just doesn't work. And just, I don't ever see Ellie when I look at Bella Ramsey. I just don't see the character Ellie. That's just me. Okay. Yeah, we have this like scene before she's going with the leader guy, the Asian guy. They're going on patrol. She runs into like the priest guy that called her a really bad word in the last episode. He apologizes to her, and she does not accept his apology. And I'm like, it's hilarious because this is just I guess a new generation in a nutshell is don't ever accept people's apologies. If someone says something bigoted and hateful and they apologize, don't accept the apology because they'll never change. They're the problem. You're better than them. All that stuff. And I hated that scene because it just showed, again, she's just an unlikable person. He said something wrong. He knows he said something wrong. He's apologizing for it. And she's just like, whatever, fuck you. It's like, you couldn't give us just an ounce of humanity with Ellie before the bad shit's about to go down. Because this season, Ellie's going to do some horrendous things to some people and to some animals. And she is going to be an unlikable bitch throughout the whole season. If you've played Last of Us Part 2, she's going to do some horrendous things. So it's cool they could have shown some humanity with Ellie before we see the true darkness of Ellie. But now they're just going for and just making her a bitch. So some people like that. So you guys, nice. We don't even get to see Pedro Pascal till near the ending. He really doesn't do anything this episode other than he saves Abby and then he dies. That's really it. He doesn't really say much or do much this episode. And this episode should have been a Joel episode because it's the end of Joel. It should have been all about Joel. But no, we have to make it about Ellie. And even though the whole season's going to be about Ellie because it's going to be about her revenge on Abby, but we couldn't just give more scenes to Pedro Pascal. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Caitlin Dever as Abby. I will still stand by. She's giving a very good performance. I think she's doing very well. I actually think she's done better in the show than in the video games. That's the only difference. It's the only plus the show has over the games is that I think Abby's done a bit better. I think she's just giving a better performance than the voice actress who did Abby. I think the look of her is better too because there was just no subtlety with Abby's look in The Last of Us Part 2. She's just like this big, brute, ugly, grotesque person. This one, she's just like a normal woman. And I like that because evil comes in all forms. And any person can be bad just by... She's just this like normal looking woman. And I like that. I prefer that. That's just... Because it shows like... Is she good or is she bad? You just can't tell. But when you like look at her in Last of Us Part 2 and she's like, "Arr!" I'm like, well, okay, clearly she's bad. The subtlety is just crazy. But yeah, the scene with all the clickers is great. It's probably the best parts of the episode. When they're all like swarming in on the town, and you get to see some badass Tommy moments. He's got like the flamethrower and shit. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. You don't get to see a lot of cool Tommy moments in the games or in the show, so it was cool to see some cool Tommy moments. And so this is gonna go way off topic. This is a gripe I have with just all movies and shows, but like there's like a little 5-second scene in this episode. They're like, get the women and children to the basements and lock them in. I hate that cliche. That's like in every like disaster movie, zombie apocalypse movie, or like a war movie when they're getting invaded. Go to the basement. And I'm like, the basement is not going to save you. If the clickers are coming in and they're raiding the towns and then they get into the basement, you have nowhere to escape from. You are dead. You're also setting fire to the town in a basement is not the place you want to be when everything's lit on fire. So that's such a cliche in a lot of shows and movies. Like, get to the basement. It's like the Deus Ex Machina. It's gonna save everything. Get to the basement. Oh god, that's just funny. That's just not just a gripe with this episode. It's just like so many movies and shows do that kind of cliche. It's just like, we're under attack. Get to the basement. It's like, because the basement's gonna save your life. But yeah, that always makes me laugh. Anyways, we get a really cool, intense scene with like Abby, and we also get like some weaknesses with Abby, which I really like. That she's doesn't always know what she's doing. Like she's like on patrol, she like falls down and she hurts herself, and she's like getting chased by the clickers, and it shows genuine terror and fear in her. And it's a very intense scene. It's probably the scariest moment in the episode when like the fence breaks down. She's like crawling under the fence. Really well done scene. Very intense, and it's building the tension. I'm just like, oh, okay, wow, this is very effective. Then we get Joel saving her, basically just like the games. He's with Dina, and then she's like, come, I have a group of people. We're up the mountain. They have guns. They'll protect us. And he's like, cool. And then they go up there, and they drug Dina, and Abby gives this long speech up to Joel, how he killed the Fireflies and her dad. And he's just like, oh my god, shut the fuck up and just kill me already. He's basically telling what the audience is saying, just shut up and do it already. And then we get like the torture scene, just like the games, with Abby torturing Joel. She blows his leg off almost with a shotgun and beats him with the golf club, and that's how he dies. Then Ellie comes in at the end, goes to the ground. She's like, Joel, get up! And then she cries, sees Joel dead. Episode ends. Very sad, just like the games. Almost shot for shot like the games. The only thing there's a character that's supposed to die. I'm not going to spoil it because it might happen the next episode, but they forgot to show another character dying. But they'll probably do it the next episode or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably not going to watch it, but yeah, it's just like the game. And is it as shocking as the game? No, because in the game we didn't see it coming. We saw this coming. If you played the game, you see it coming. Obviously, people who have never played the games, they didn't see it coming. And from what I can tell, some people are not giving a shit about it, which is fine. People who played the games did give a shit about it and did not like it. But yeah. Maybe people will start getting annoyed when there's just less Pedro Pascal and it's all going to be Bella Ramsey and Caitlin Dever. I don't know. I still think Caitlin Dever is the better actress, and she's probably going to carry the show. And that's what Neil Druckmann wanted, because basically Neil Druckmann wrote with The Last of Us Part 2 saying Abby's the hero and Joel and Ellie are the villains, which really didn't sit well with people who were fans of the first Last of Us game, because they're like, you made us love these two characters, and then you make The Last of Us Part 2 and you're just like, oh, those two characters are pieces of shit and Abby's the true hero. I'm like, then why'd you focus on them in Last of Us Part 1? Why should it just been all about Abby then? I don't know. So that's what really pissed a lot of people off about Last of Us Part 2. And the reason, again, this is the reason I'm just not going to watch anymore, is not, like, I'm not trying to be, like, hateful and just be like, yo, fuck this show, I'm done. It's not that, just, like, there's just no point now to be watching the show, because I know where it's going. Like, and again, like I said, I watched the first season because I liked the first game, and I liked seeing it on the screen. I didn't like the second game, so why am I watching season 2? Simple as that, right? Simple as that. Are they going to change some things? Maybe. But it gets a little crazy. If they're going to put everything in The Last of Us Part 2 in this series, it's going to get weird, and it's not going to be something I'm going to want to watch on the screen. There's a lot of identity politics in it. There's a lot of anti-religious things in it. It gets weird. Really weird. And there's no ounce of lightness. It's just miserable. And that's why I hated playing that game. It was a miserable experience. The thing was, The Last of Us Part 1, it was a very dark game, but there was always lightness into the darkness. And even though it ends kind of bitter, there's still little lightness and still little hope. There is no hope in Last of Us Part 2. It's just all misery. And that just doesn't sound like something that's fun to watch. So why am I going to watch that? The second episode, again, was better than the first, and they know they had to make this better than the first episode because they knew what they were doing with the character of Joel. So they needed to hook people to get them to that ending of this episode, which was very smart by them. Are people gonna stop watching? Maybe some, but I don't think none. I don't think a lot, because again, there's a lot of people who love The Last of Us Part 2. Also, there's a lot of people that hate The Last of Us Part 2, so a lot of them are gonna probably still keep watching just to hate watch it, but I don't. I have better things to do with my time than just hate watch a show. I don't feel like I don't want to do that. I don't want to just watch the show just to shit on it. It's just not for me anymore. The first season was cool. The season's going in the same direction as The Last of Us Part 2. Obviously, it was going to happen. I don't need to watch it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Y'all can enjoy it. And I know I'm going to get those jackasses in the comments. They're going to be like, well, the show's going to do well anyways without your viewership. Good riddance. I'm like, okay. Okay. So you gotta love those people who are the really huge defenders on it. Just as big of dickheads as the people that hate it. It's very toxic. Last of Us haters and lovers to have the two of them go at it. These two different fandoms, just like Star Wars fandoms. It's a little crazy. It's insane right now. So that's why there's no point even talking about it. There's no point in watching it, because why watch something that just isn't interesting to me? There's a lot of other shows I'm watching, better shows, so there we go. Good riddance, I guess. So let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts and opinions on The Last of Us Season 2? Do you love this season? Do you love the direction it's going? Are you a fan of the second game? Are you just excited for the next episode? Give your thoughts and opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.